I mean, I learned about you when we did the documentary Sisters Getting Well.
Yes.
And you were an expert out of Detroit, Michigan,
Yes.
talking about the plant protocol.
Everyone knows the power of plants, right? But there's not gonna ever be a commercial for apples and beets, right? But that's the original medicine.
What is the common thread that you see with Black women in their health all across this country?
First of all, the number one cause of death in the United States is heart disease, right? Over 900,000 people die every year, just in the US alone, from heart disease.
But I really want you to lean into why plant-based is the way.
The reason plant-based is the way for me, and the reason I teach it to our community, is because it is the only diet that has been proven to prevent and reverse heart disease.
How does our food affect those hormone levels in our bodies?
So many of us have adopted the mindset that as we age, things are supposed to go wrong.
When people look at this lifestyle, they say, I don't have the money to do this. What would you say to them? Welcome to Bought and Powers Talks, where we don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential change makers. I'm your host, Brandi Harvey. Now, for all y'all, it's the top of the year. You're trying to get right. Well, baby, we're going to get that diet together. Lisa A. Smith is the founder of the Plant Protocol, creator of the Black Health Academy, and a leading voice in using plant-forward living as a tool to prevent and reverse disease in Black and Brown communities. As a board-certified health coach, nutritionist, and sought-after speaker, she is known for blending science, behavioral psychology, and biohacking principles to help people break free from chronic stress, inflammatory disease, and lifestyle-driven illness. Through her coaching, online communities, and deeply impactful educational programs, Lisa has empowered thousands to reclaim their health by understanding the root cause of disease, not just treating the symptoms. Her work is disrupting outdated narratives about what wellness looks like, and she is proving every day that optimal health is accessible, achievable, and fully within our control. Bought and Powers Talks welcome a powerhouse in the world of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, and metabolic transformation, Lisa A. Smith, to the show.
Thank you, Brandi, for having me. What a wonderful intro.
Listen, come on, friend.
I'm so happy to be here, B. I am so happy to be here.
Listen, I want y'all to know, the magic happens when the friends come and sit down. And so Lisa and I were just at a retreat together in Jamaica.
Yes.
And I said, well, when you coming on the show?
Yes.
And she said, Brandi, I can come whenever you want me to.
Yes.
And so here you are.
Date and time, and I'm there. And it's an honor to be here, truly.
I mean, I learned about you when we did the documentary Sisters Getting Well.
Yes.
And you were an expert out of Detroit, Michigan, talking about the plant protocol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, it was such an honor to be in the film with yourself and Jackie Glass, and the invitation to be in the film was so ordained, right? It just came from a mutual friend between me and Jackie, and being able to be in the film and really highlighting the impact that the health of Black women has on the world at large was just an honor. So I would do the movie over and over again. And since then, being able to tour the country with you and Mrs. Glass, doing screenings and doing after talks and talking to the people in real time about their health. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better, Brandi.
I mean, we were just here in Atlanta speaking at a church on Sunday.
Yes.
And I mean, in LA, we've done all these cities together.
Yes.
What is the common thread that you see with Black women in their health all across this country?
Yeah, limiting beliefs about what's possible for them. 100%. The most common thread I see among Black women in this country about their health is that it's either too late, it'll take too long, right? This is just my genetics and my DNA, and there's nothing I can do about it. So it's these limiting beliefs and these stories that either we've been told, we've been shown or modeled, or that we just decided to adopt because we haven't seen anything different. So I would say that absence of exposure to what's possible, even after years of neglecting yourself, even after years of eating a bunch of food that you know wasn't healthy, but you decided to put your family or your work first, it's still possible. So I would say the limiting belief that it's too late or it's not possible.
It's too late or it's not possible.
Yeah.
I want you to tell, because your story is like so many other stories.
It is.
You started this journey because you were overweight.
Yes, 100%. I was overweight, Brandi. I was insecure. I was unsure of myself. I wasn't aware of what my power was, what my purpose was, what my assignment was. And so in 2012, while working as a social worker for the state of Michigan, doing honorable work,
Yeah.
helping kids who had unfortunately been taken from their homes, put in the foster care system, my job was help to reunite them with their biological family. But I was overweight, Brandi, and I was not happy with what I saw when I looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
And so,
65 pounds overweight.
65 pounds overweight. I'm 5'8", and it did not look good for me.
Because it's going to be somebody, Lisa, who said, girl, she was just a little thick thing. You know?
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time. And don't let me show my before picture. Everybody
Yeah.
be like, where?
Where?
And I'm like, right there,
Yeah.
sis. Right? But it's all about what you see when you look in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
And wanting to have a level of confidence that helps you to propel yourself and your mission forward. Stop hiding behind the scenes because you're not confident in your body. So I wanted to change that. And so
Yeah.
I started that journey in 2012, and look at me now.
Yeah. 2012, you
Yes.
start the journey and
Yes.
you use food
Yes.
to heal your life.
100%. It started with fitness first. So I hired a personal trainer, and Tiffany was my coworker at the state of Michigan in foster care, and she was so fit. Turns out she was a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like Tiff. She had the calf, she had the arm, she looked amazing. And I'm like, what do I have to do? And she said, well, I'm a personal trainer actually, and I can help you. And so we started just with the fitness, and I didn't know much about nutrition. But as I grew to love the fitness, I wanted to know more about nutrition. And as I started studying nutrition, that's what changed the game.
Yeah.
Eventually became plant-based, and the rest is history.
I mean, plant-based.
Yes.
And so I got the folks who come and sit in the seat, Lisa. You know, the Dr. Bobbies of the
Yes,
world who come
yes.
and sit in the seat. And it's the same conversation that really people get tired of,
Yeah.
right? They're like, oh, here she goes. She gonna tell me I gotta eat some fruits and vegetables in order to be my optimal self.
And Will. You got to eat some fruit and vegetables in order to be your optimal self. The truth is the truth. It hasn't changed. The science hasn't changed. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, water, purpose, exercise, and love and intimacy. That's the trick every time.
Ooh, wait a minute. You said some stuff that people don't normally hear. Purpose and
Yes.
intimacy.
100%.
I ain't never had nobody say that was going to be the thing.
Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, diet and exercise are not the only things that move the needle in the health. And most times we want to get healthy. That's what we focus on the most.
Yeah.
Let me alter what I'm eating. Let me alter my exercise. But first of all, we have to do fulfilling work. We have to do purposeful work, because when you're miserable when it comes to your contribution to society, that's going to compromise the body on a cellular level. And then we have to activate those neurotransmitters like oxytocin, which is our connection neurotransmitter. So when we hug on people we love,
Yeah.
when we spend intimate time with people that makes us happy, it completely heals the body from the inside out. So we can't take those things for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the plant protocol
Yeah.
and the Black Health Academy, you are the first Black woman to create the Black Health Academy in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always talk about the Black history that you are making. I want you to talk about why this is your mission.
Yeah. You know, a couple years ago, there was a documentary, Brandi, that came out on Netflix, right? And it was about the gentleman who was behind Dr. Martin Luther King in the Walk on Washington, right?
Mm.
And they told his story, and I had never heard his story before, right? He was the mastermind behind this historical event, and I had never heard of him. And so I'm watching that film at home one day, and I got angry.
Mm.
Now, usually when I watch historical films and stories about us, I get proud and I get so excited and I
Yeah.
get prideful. But in this moment, I got angry. And I said, I'm sick and tired of us being hidden figures. So I made a commitment that I wasn't just going to do this work, and I wasn't just going to make Black history, but I was going to ensure that I wasn't a hidden figure while doing it.
Mm.
And so the goal is to become a public figure and eventually become a historical figure. So we're going to make Black history by extending the healthy life expectancy for people of color, and I'm going to do it publicly. I refuse for somebody else to tell my story when I'm long and gone and I did not contribute to the script.
Mm.
So you're going to know me while I'm here. We are going to make Black history, and we're going to do it in the spotlight and on the front lines. And so it's important for me to wake up every day and let that assignment lead my actions. And so our mission is to extend the healthy life expectancy for people of color. I created the first plant-based coaching certification to be founded by a person of color so that our people can get educated in this science and take it back to their communities. And every day I wake up on assignment, and it's the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah. And y'all, let me say this. Her people like gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ride for Lisa. Okay, anywhere Lisa going, they going. Lisa going to Jamaica, they going to Jamaica. Lisa going to Houston, they going to Houston.
Yes.
Wherever Lisa is going, these people are following
That's
you.
a fact.
And you have transformed so many people's mindset
Yeah.
about how to live a healthy life. But I really want you to lean into why plant-based is the way. Because everybody will say,
Yeah.
I can do moderation. I
Yeah.
can eat my little meat because, I told you, Lisa, sometimes I like me a fried lobster tail. I like a little crab leg every now and again.
Every time you say that, Brandi, every time. We was in Jamaica. I mean, I get it. I could do your challenge, but I like me a little
Listen,
every time.
I like a little, the crab legs is what took me out the vegan life. I saw some crab legs, Lisa, on Instagram. I said, I think I want a crab leg today. So, yeah.
Yes. And okay, so let me explain. So, first of all, the number one cause of death in the United States is heart disease, right? Over 900,000 people die every year, just in the U.S. alone, from heart disease. And heart disease is clogged arteries.
Yeah.
Heart disease is saturated fat and cholesterol and all of these things that are clogging our arteries, preventing our blood from pumping through our arteries. Now, the reason plant-based is the way for me, and the reason I teach it to our community, is because it is the only diet that has been proven to prevent and reverse heart disease.
Yeah.
The number one cause of death, right? So that's important. Now, when it comes to moderation, what I like to tell individuals is the thing that should be determined how aggressive you are with your dietary approach should be based on what you're personally battling. So if you're in the midst of having a lifestyle disease, everything from obesity to type 2 diabetes to heart disease, you can't afford moderation. You've already overstayed your welcome at moderation in. Moderation is what got you here. It wasn't one meal. You moderated yourself to the diagnosis.
I mean, I love when you break it down like this.
Yes.
Because it make it's all makes sense.
Yeah. And so I'm not saying we can never have some of those things. I'm not saying that everybody needs to be perfect. But if your body and your mind are compromised as you sit here and listen to this today, stop thinking you can still afford a little bit of the stuff that got you here. We have to be a little more aggressive and radical. So I don't meet people where they are. I meet them where their disease is, right? Your disease is already advanced past the point of moderation and a little bit and every weekend and treat myself and every now and then and I've been good and I can afford and I get a cheat meal. You are compromised. You're dealing with depression, anxiety, fibroids, fertility issues. This stuff is serious. And so we have to be just as aggressive as it is.
Yeah. Just as aggressive as it is.
Yes.
When people enter into your program, you often start them on the 30-day challenge, which is the SOS.
Yes.
No salt, no oil.
Say that.
No sugar.
My favorite part.
Let me look into the camera when no salt.
You heard it.
No oil.
Again.
No sugar.
Bingo. Amen. Amen.
I told Lisa, no thank you. I'm not going to join your challenge, Lisa, because I like salt. Okay?
And did.
But I want you to talk about this because in 30 days, you have seen the reversal of disease in your community.
I've seen the reversal of disease, Brandi. I've seen the reversal of low self-esteem. I've seen the reversal of I don't know what my purpose is. I've seen the reversal of depression and anxiety, right? I've seen the reversal of food addiction. It don't take long to start feeling better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long to start believing that it's possible. But it's intimidating initially because when you have a 30-day V and no salt, no oil, no sugar challenge, that's a lot at one time.
Yeah.
Right? But I tell people our challenge is not designed to expose you to a plant-based lifestyle. Our challenge is not a Jumpstart program, right? We're putting you in treatment. And when you're in treatment, you can't still consume the drug that got you sick.
Yeah.
you know? And if you want to repair your relationship with food, it's going to require an abstinence approach versus a moderation approach. But it's a powerful regimen, Brandi. It's a power, and the things happen
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean, I've seen the people in the community.
Yeah.
Jackie Glass is one of those people who talked
Yes.
about, I mean, I saw the reversal when we
Yeah.
were touring about the documentary Sisters Getting Well.
Yes.
Just over the 30 days of
Yes.
not doing no salt and oil. I'm tempted to do it
Yeah.
for the top of the year. The no oil, no sugar, no problem.
Uh-huh.
But look, I need a little.
We got alternatimes for you.
Just
Like
a little.
we use liquid aminos. You know about liquid
I
aminos.
do.
Yeah.
I use the liquids.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, Lisa. You know this. I'm on my fruits and veggies.
You are.
I do that. So when I say the crab legs and all that, that's every now and again.
Yeah.
But I truly know that what you're doing is so powerful because I've seen the people.
Yes.
Like, the testimonies are real.
Yes,
Yeah.
they really are. And Brandi, health is such a core value for you already, right? And so I also tell people our challenge is really designed for people who are really bad, like they're in a health crisis,
Yeah.
right? So moderation is for people who have already done the hard work to optimize their health, right? But when you do this regimen, you're coming into treatment. You're raising your hand and admitting, I need help. I'm not strong enough to do this alone. I need the community. I need the coaching. I need the protocol. Right. And then once we get you whole and healthy and back in your right mind and homeostasis in the body, then we can talk about some things that maybe you can afford a little bit of. But it changes the game.
I want you to talk about sugar's effect on the brain.
Let's go.
Yeah. Because this is your cutting edge. This is your cutting edge. This is your advantage.
It is. It is. So when I first went vegan many years ago, I just took out animal products thinking that was enough to be healthy. Turns out it's not. There are things that we eat that are classified as vegan that are also very inflammatory and disease promoting, and refined processed sugar is one of them. So I'm not referring to the sugar that we get in fruit and the natural sugars, but I am definitely talking about the refined stuff that's added to food, and it's added to food in a very scientific way. So addiction is engineered into food. And so when I went vegan, I thought I was doing the best I could do.
Yeah.
But I'm a speaker for a living. I'm a teacher. I'm a coach for a living. And I sell my intellectual property. So my brain is my product, right? And I pride myself on how much I study and really being able to help people in real time and access the knowledge that I've spent so much time acquiring. Well, Brandi, I was vegan, but I was getting on stages and I could not recall. I was getting on stages and I was just not as quick as I'm used to being. And I realized just being vegan was not enough. I had to go a little farther. And so I went completely cold turkey on all refined processed sugar. And that is what really began to open up those compartments of my brain and give me access to the information quickly, articulately, being able to put things together. And I've never looked back, and it's been a game changer.
So for our audience who may be a little confused on what those refined sugars look like,
Yes.
what do they show up as?
Yes. So there's over 56 different names for sugar. So if you're buying packaged food, when we're reading the ingredients, if you're going to buy something in a package, the first place your eyeball should go is the ingredients. And we're looking for, number one, anything that ends in an OSE. Right? It's always a sugar.
OSE.
Yeah, so like your fructose, your glucose, those are all sugars.
Mhm.
Dextrose, right? Those are all sugars. Anything that ends in an OSE, sucralose is a sugar, right? Then you have your syrups. Then you have just a straight up, it'll say sugar, or it'll say cane sugar, right? It'll say coconut sugar. All of these refined sugars, they've been stripped from their original whole food source, isolated and concentrated. So that increases the potency of it. That increases the addictive quality of it. And so when we're reading labels, whether it's your seasonings, your marinades, right, your packaged foods, all of that added sugar, brown sugar, white sugar, coconut sugar, all of that stuff. I also don't do honey. I don't do agave, right? All of that. Look over here. I'm over here. Brandi, look back over here, Brandi.
Hold on. Hold on. Hit dogs holler. Hold on.
Brandi, like, she ain't named me yet. Now, wait a minute.
Hold on. I got struck. I got hit by a bullet.
Right. Now, those, I graduated to those for a period. The maple syrups, the organic agaves, the honey. But now they're too sweet for me. But also, they're absent of fiber. So while they might not be as bad as the white sugar, the brown sugars, the coconut sugars, they are still very high on a glycemic index. And so I notice a difference if I consume something with agave or honey in it right away. And especially people who are trying to protect their brain, like we have a significant portion of the population, for example, that are experiencing the symptoms of dementia,
Yeah,
Alzheimer's, things
yeah.
like that. And sugar is considered diabetes 3
Diabetes 3.
because of
Yes,
how
it
much of an
is.
impact it has on your
Yeah.
recall and your memory.
Yeah.
So even the honey and the agaves will impact that.
Okay, so then this was not on the script of what I
Yes.
was going to talk about. Okay, so then dates.
Yes. I do dates, dried fruit.
Okay, you
Yes.
do dry fruit.
Yes.
All right, because
Yes.
I be sitting there
Unsweetened
with a
dried fruit.
little bag of dates. They see me eating them every time when I'm in the studio.
Yes.
Now I'm feeling like, oh, Lord.
Nope.
Don't take my crack. I like my hit.
Yeah, gotta get that hit. No, I do eat sweet stuff, but it's whole and natural, right? So I will do some dried dates, unsweetened dried fruit, right? It's fine. Yesterday for dinner, I literally had a smoothie bowl for dinner. That's sweetness for me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so that's natural sweeteners are fine. So it's not the absence of a sweet tooth that you're ever probably going to accomplish. You're going to have a sweet tooth for the rest of your life, but how you satisfy it is what matters. And so I like for my food to be whole. I like for my food to be molecularly intact. So the dates, when you eat it, you're getting the sweetness, but you're also getting the fiber
Yeah.
and the vitamins and minerals. And that's what makes the difference on how it metabolizes in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to lean back into this because we have so many people who are struggling with anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
burnout,
Mm-hmm.
fatigue,
Mm.
all of these things that are now considered perimenopausal and hormone markers and all of these things.
Yeah.
How does our food affect those hormone levels in our body?
Oh, it affects our hormone levels so much, but most of us don't realize it because we haven't been taught it. But when we are consuming animal products that are full of hormones, right? When we're consuming additives, when we're taking drugs and things that have hormones in them, it affects us. When we're overweight, we produce more estrogen, right? And so now we have a higher estrogen load in our body. So there are so many things that affects our hormone levels, including stress. And so all of these things can cause a hormonal imbalance, and we don't realize it, and we try and manipulate things on the outside, or we try everything but taking out our favorite foods, right? Because
Yeah.
the thought of going without feels like deprivation, and it feels too hard. But one of the most powerful things that can happen on a whole food plant-based diet is your hormones get balanced, especially when you pair that with doing the additional lifestyle work, like eliminating, not just managing chronic stress. All of those things can bring the body back in balance.
I want you to go back.
Yes.
Because you really speak to this in your program about eliminating stress.
Yes.
And oftentimes we are learning techniques on how to manage the stress. How do we eliminate the stress from our lives?
That's it right there. So first things first, it always starts with a belief. And the belief that I want everyone to adopt that's listening to this and dealing with high amounts of stress is that all stress is not meant to be managed. Some stress is meant to be eliminated. So acute stress, that short-term stress that's purposeful, for example, that is the type of stress that we can expect to experience for our entire lives. No one's life is going to be stress-free.
Yeah.
But chronic stress, the long-term stress that's not linked to purpose, that's not meaningful, that causes you to lay in bed at night, look at the ceiling, and wonder how the heck you're going to get out of this, that type of stress kills. And so the first thing is to understand that we have to move from a management approach to an elimination approach. The second thing is to understand now that we realize that the stress management techniques, the self-care days, the glass of wine, the weekend with the girls, right? The meditation, the yoga, that helps you manage the moment, absolutely. But the harder work is making tough decisions. The harder work is having difficult conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and the harder work is deciding what you want instead and being bold enough to claim it. Some of us just don't even have the courage to say what we really want. And so we need either an exit strategy, an enter strategy, or an engagement strategy when it's time to eliminate chronic stress. So exit is for something you want completely out of your life. Enter is for a situation that you want to move into. You may want to move into entrepreneurship, for example, right? And an engagement strategy is for a circumstance that you don't want to be or can't be out of, but you need to rearrange it so it no longer overwhelms you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of y'all gonna miss the exit.
Yeah.
Okay. I already feel it in the comments. Some of y'all gonna miss the exit. Some of these Negroes in y'all life, they gotta be on the exit row. And I know some of y'all keep putting them at the entrance.
Yes.
But they're going to have to go on the exit 2026.
Amen. Burn the boat. Burn the boat. Stop going back over there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But we have so many, I'm afraid to be alone, or I'm afraid how this will affect my children, or I'm afraid I won't be able to sell my own products if I work for myself. So I should just stay in this safe job working for someone else. And so all of these stories, because acute stress graduates to chronic stress when it stops being about the circumstance and it starts being about your perception of your circumstance, right?
The perception of your circumstance.
That's what causes chronic stress, 100%.
So that's the story we're telling ourselves.
Absolutely. It is, I know I'm miserable in this marriage. However, I think it's too late. I'm too old to find love again. I'm not lovable. Maybe I've been so broken in this relationship. They've tore me down from an esteem standpoint. I don't believe in myself. Or this is the devil I know. What if I can't find anything better than this? And so we tell ourselves all these stories, and we look up, and we've been there another year, another 2 years, another 5 years, just not blissful. And so it has long stopped being about the marriage and started being about your perception about being single.
Ooh.
And that's where the stress comes into play.
Well, then, then we turn on Instagram.
Yes.
And we get the other stress because then you're over 40.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, you on the clearance rack.
Yes.
Well, you down there at the Goodwill.
Yeah.
You
set in your ways.
Don't nobody want nobody. Oh, listen, we
Uh-uh.
got Kevin Gates who did a whole rant about him having this young girlfriend. And why would anybody want anything old?
Yes.
And I think that also plays.
It plays
into the perception.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why, and Brandi, you heard me say this recently, everybody needs a possibility model. Let me tell you something. There are healthy, thriving men and women over 40, over 50 who are dating. The dating pool is not too small.
Over 60.
Listen.
70.
Finding love again.
Yeah.
Finding themselves again. It starts with healing yourself first. And so we need to be in ecosystems where healthy marriages, healthy relationship, healthy self-love is what's embodied. And when you can latch on to a possibility model, somebody who can show you and demonstrate to you what's possible, your beliefs change and then you begin to attract what you're looking for. I wasn't worried for not 1 second when I left my fiance and gave that ring back that I was never going to find love again. Not for one. And we were together over 12 years, Brandi.
Wow.
And I never for 1 second believed maybe I should stay. Maybe I won't get another ring. No, sir.
Yeah.
Good day.
You are on the exit. You're in the exit plan.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. This is not a revolving door. And I left that circumstance and found my forever person. And I've never been more happy. But I never believed that it wasn't possible for me. I never believed that it was too late. I was too old. I was too set in my ways. I was too independent. I was too strong, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
No, all of this glory, all of this magnificence, somebody's about to be blessed.
Somebody is about to be blessed.
Amen.
I want you to talk about this because you said so much about our surroundings and the people that we surround ourselves with play into our health.
Yeah.
How important is community to our health?
It's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. So oftentimes, and I'm sure you have probably experienced or witnessed this pattern, people will begin a regimen like a 30-day challenge and they will get results and they will feel good and they followed the protocol and they did all the things, and then eventually they find that they start slowly going back to those old habits, right? And then they come into spaces like our talks at the church, right? And they say, like, I do good for a while and then I fall off. I do good for a while and then I fall off. And so my response to that, Brandi, always is, you must honor the conditions in which you thrive. So I said, well, tell me, what were the circumstances when you were doing good? Well, I was actually in this program. We were meeting every week, or I was going to the gym and classes. So I was around people, and then we had a coach. I had somebody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
And I said, well, why did you break away from that? Right? If those are the conditions in which you thrive, stay in the ecosystem, stay in the community, keep you a coach, keep you a protocol, right? But inevitably, a limiting belief that says, well, I should be able to do this by myself. I shouldn't need help. Tells them. And so one of the biggest things that compromises people's results when it's time to get healthy, right, is the belief that there is shame in needing community and needing help. And so they step away from the fire. Stay close to the fire. Soon as you start cooling off, you start gaining weight again.
Yeah.
Stay close to the fire. And so if the fire for you is community, an ecosystem where I had other people that was doing it with me, where I could hear other people's triumphs and their challenges and learn from them, honor the conditions in which you thrive.
Yeah, honor the conditions in which you thrive. I think that's so important because when I look at your program, when I look at the Black Health Academy, when I look at Girlfriends Getaway,
Mhm.
those are environments that
Yes.
people are thriving in.
Yes.
And it's like, soon as they get away from that,
Yeah.
they're like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. We do.
We do.
Right.
We
I
know
ain't
what
seen you in
happened.
6 months. Get back over
I
here.
haven't seen you. Where you been?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like when the people come in from the gym and they haven't been to the gym in a while and they walk down the stairs, I'm like, oh, damn, well, where you? You picked up a lot since you've been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Things have
because
changed.
you
Yes.
need the community.
You do. Community is so important. It gives you something to aspire to. It also, if your own personal ecosystem is not, believing what you're trying to adopt, it also lets you know that it's possible and there's people out there like you so that you don't go back to that environment and think that, I'm too much of an outlier because we all need belonging. And if we don't have belonging, we'll just adopt the practices of where we feel like we're being accepted. And so we need that sense of belonging to stay true to the new values we're trying to adopt. So community is just a non-negotiable. I've had coaches and communities for years, and I'm not going to be caught in these streets coachless.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Like, I'm a certified personal trainer, group fitness instructor, all the things, former fitness competitor, and I do not train myself.
Yeah.
I have no desire to go
Yeah.
to the gym
No.
and figure out what I'm about to do. No,
No.
I want to pay somebody so when I go in there, they say, this the workout.
Yes.
This what we doing today.
Yes.
I see Kiwi over here in the corner. I'm not
Yes.
even going to look her way.
Yeah.
Because, child, the way
The beast of all beasts.
the way
honey.
she woke me out on that beach in Jamaica, I
Yes.
don't need to see another sand workout until next year.
You ain't know it's going to hit you, did you? I'm telling you.
Listen,
That's my girl.
I said, oh my God. But I think that people forget how important that is
It's really
to
important.
your survival. But one of the things that we hear all the time, and this is one of the things that we heard recently together, Lisa and I were speaking at a church,
Yes.
and they said, well, I'm 80 some years old.
Yeah.
I got this far,
Mm-hmm.
this long.
Yeah.
Why do I need to change?
Yeah.
I've been eating the same foods for 80 years.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
The bar too low.
Pack it up. Let's
The bar
go.
too low.
Pack
Yeah.
it up. Go,
Yeah.
let's go home.
Amen.
Cut the show.
When people say I've made it to this age and I'm still alive, or my so-and-so made it to this age and they're still alive, they're thinking that the ultimate win is still being alive. That's the cost of entry. Like that's the starting line. That's not the finish line. Yeah, waking up every day is the starting line.
Oof.
That's not the finish line. So your bar too low. Raise the stakes, right? Like I dare you be 80 and still be able to do and walk a half marathon. I dare you be 80 and not starting a business. I dare you be 80 and doing something fresh, walking up these flight of steps and beating me to the top. Like I dare you be able to get up and down and run around and swing from the handlebars with your grandbabies and great grandbabies. Like I triple dog dare you to get on this bike and speak with the mental clarity that will impress the whole world. Set the bar higher. If just being alive is the impressive part, that lets me know your goal setting is not risky enough.
Ooh, your goal setting is not risky enough.
Raise the stakes.
I think that is because we have gotten into this state of mind that, especially in our community, we have this expectation that we are going to walk into disease.
Yeah.
We have an expectation to walk into prescription drugs.
Yes.
And you're like, that does not have to be.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So many of us have adopted the mindset that as we age, things are supposed to go wrong. Yes, things change 100%, but things don't have to go wrong. You don't have to be dependent on medications and medical equipment and procedures. You don't have to be dependent on other people, right? There's a way to age well.
Yeah.
And so I would love for us to adopt an expectation that I'm going to be free of medication, free of medical equipment, right? I'm not going to be a burden to anybody I love if I can control it. And I'm going to age well with grace and still be running these streets and looking good.
Yeah.
And set an example for people coming behind me.
I'm trying to be outside. You know what I'm saying?
All day
I'm trying to be outside. Now, some of y'all be like, oh, she trying to be outside. Yeah,
Yes,
that too.
yes,
Okay. Hide your daddy.
Yes.
And
your granddaddy.
And your granddaddy.
Don't play with me.
And your uncle.
Yeah, especially if he eat right.
Okay.
Yes.
And your cousin. Listen. But I want you to lean into this idea of aging and why plants are so important to the aging process.
Yes, because they contain the nutrients and the substance and the chemicals that aid our body. See, everything that you consume that's bought on the shelf, the foundation of it is a plant. But the reason it's in a powder or a peel form or a supplement form is because you can't put a patent on a plant. And so in order for an organization to profit from a plant,
Yeah.
you have to add something to it to make it a unique proprietary formula, right? But kale and spinach and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, nobody can legally claim that. So
Right.
we got to take it to the lab,
Yeah.
add a few things to it so we can put a patent on it
Call it a superfood
and
powder.
market it and call it a superfood power. So everyone knows the power of plants, right? But there's not going to ever be a commercial for apples and beets, right? But that's the original medicine. So when we eat the whole real food, we give ourselves the best shot at becoming the whole real version of ourselves. So when we take all of the ultra processed food, the refined sugars, all of the oil, all of the excess animal products with saturated fat and growth hormones out of our diet, we give our bodies the best shot at being healthy for a long time, give our mind the best shot of being clear for a long time. And that is what begins to plant the seeds and change our the generations coming behind us. So not just generational wealth, but generational health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 3 foods
Mm-hmm.
that aid in longevity for you.
Mm-hmm. Plants, berries, so plants as in vegetables, right? Berries every single day. The
Yeah.
antioxidants are unmatched, right? And I would say water, hydrating the body. And so I make sure I eat plants every single day, have berries every day, hydrating the body. And if I was to add something on there that was a category, it will be fiber. One of the biggest deficiencies for Americans is fiber. And so when we heal the gut with proper amounts of fiber, it heals the whole body. It heals the mind. And so getting adequate amounts of fiber, a minimum of 30 grams a day, non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it heal the gut and you heal nearly everything else in the body.
What are the ways you get fiber?
So ways you get fiber is going to be through whole foods. So of course you have your fruits and your vegetables, your whole grains, right? So you're looking at things like your oats, your beans, powerhouse, especially for the gut. They contain a specific type of starch that will heal the gut and all of the gut issues that a lot of people deal with. And so fiber is great. Then you have your legumes like your chickpeas and your lentils, very fibrous. And you know, a lot of times some of our seeds very fibrous, and all of those foods combined makes it very easy to get to about 30 grams a day. And you can put this in in soups and chilies and sandwiches, right? Whole grains. And you eat that on a regular basis, and it really changes the game for how your body processes and digests food, and then how your mind works.
Yeah. The gut is the second brain.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's connected to your brain throughout your lifespan through the vagus nerve. And most people don't know that it started off as a single cell that split into two. And so your gut and your brain come from one, and they stay connected throughout the lifespan. And so it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So most people, when they're walking around, you know, I say this all the time. I say, you know, when I say people are full of shit, it's really because they're really full of shit.
For sure.
Yeah.
People are not eliminating properly. It's a real thing. And a lot of times we're trying to get fiber from a synthetic supplement. And so we're putting powders and waters and smoothies, right, which could actually destroy the gut more over time. And so we want to get fiber from whole, real food as often as possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about the gut health,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had Dr. Asia McCutcheon on here talking about microbiome,
Mm-hmm.
for someone who comes through the plant protocol and the Black Health Academy, what are some of those things that you're using to aid in that gut health and heal that microbiome?
Yeah. One of the processes that's really powerful, actually, Brandi, is fasting, right? So before we start adding stuff to the regimen and flooding the body and maybe sometimes overwhelming the body, we first want to start with resetting how the energy that's routed towards digestion.
Yeah.
So depending on pre-existing conditions, right? So you always want to check with your healthcare provider about the health of fasting for you. But I like to fast about 16 hours a day. And that in and of itself can change how you digest food, but also the bioavailability, so how you absorb it, right? And so, but then next we put them on a regimen of plants every day, 30 grams of fiber a day, at least half of your healthy weight in ounces of water per day. And then we take out all of the ultra-processed food that has all the chemicals and the food dyes and the preservatives that destroy the gut and make it too acidic. We take out the refined sugars. So it's a combination of adding, eliminating, and fasting.
Adding, eliminating, and fasting.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's going to search because this is the top of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They've set a new weight loss goal,
Yes.
Lisa, for the 30th year in a row.
Yes.
And they said, this year is my year.
Yes.
I am going to lose this 30, 40 pounds.
Yes, God willing. Yes. Yes. Come on.
What's their first step?
Their very first step is finding a community. The very first step, because you said this their 30th year in a row?
Yeah, this ain't 30th year.
Oh, yeah. If this your 30th year in a row, you need to, the first
It's
thing.
a third. It's a 30th. It's a 13th. Whatever.
First step
What's up?
is stop appointing yourself
Yeah.
as the, because if this is your third, 30th or third, it shouldn't take that many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first things first, I need you to get a community and a coach.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So latch on to an ecosystem, a community, a coach, someone who can tell you what to do, someone who will see your blind spots. Because I can almost guarantee for most people, it's a belief that they have
Yeah.
that's preventing them from being able to lose it and keep it off. So I would say first things first, get into a space that you trust with someone who has a model that you believe in, so a plant-based model, whatever the model is that you believe in, and get in a space where it's already been done 100 times over, and all you have to do is follow the blueprint. But then as you lose the weight and as you get the results, don't step away from the fire. Stay close to the fire. Stay close to the fire to maintain the results. For me, that was beginning to live a life of purpose and making my weight loss my story that I used to transform other people. Now, my level of accountability is so high because I'm not keeping the weight off just for me. I have literally thousands of people that follow me and watch me and say, I want to do what you did. You know what I mean? And so what the level, the accountability has to change over time. The reason has to change over time, but get close to the fire and don't let go.
Yeah, get close to the fire. If somebody wants to join and become a certified plant-based coach, what do they do to work with you?
Yeah, they fill out the application, right? So our program is the Plant Protocol, Plant-Based Coaching and Accelerator and Business Accelerator. And we help individuals who are living a whole food plant-based lifestyle to package their transformation into a specialized health coaching business. And so if this has been a transformational regimen for you, you now have the opportunity to come into an ecosystem that's founded by a person of color who understands the nuances of serving marginalized communities, learn the science, but most importantly, along with that, learn business acumen. Most people, when they want to be health coaches and they want to help other people, they want to be a wellness influencer, they have the passion. Sometimes they even have the science, but very, very rarely, I find, do they have the business acumen. So we go and get these certifications and we have that behind our name, but we have no idea how to put together a marketing strategy. We have no idea how to create an offer. We have no idea how to sell. We no idea how to deliver. And so that business acumen is usually the gap for people. And so we've paired the science and the business acumen under one umbrella.
I want y'all to know, because I know somebody who will be watching like, oh, that ain't from me. You know, ain't nothing but the hoteps over there. Talking about Grand Rising Queen over there. I just want y'all to know, there is such a diverse community of your healthcare practitioners that come through the plant-based protocol, the plant protocol.
Thank you.
I mean, from Jackson, Mississippi, you got folks who are mental health specialists who are working and doing work in mental health in the community. You have podiatrists in San Francisco, Black women, who are tired of amputating Black people.
That's it.
And so the community is so diverse.
Thank you.
And so I want you to speak to the levels of people who have come and been certified through your program.
Glory to God, I'm so blessed, Brandi. I am so blessed. And I don't know why God chose me for this assignment, but I am not going to let him down. You know, we've had physicians, like you mentioned. We've had everyday people who have never been to anybody's medical school, but just decided to reverse their own type 2 diabetes and want to help other people. We have a whole leg of Black man in the certification who's like, I reversed erectile dysfunction and high blood pressure, and now I want to help my Black man do it too, right? And so I'm so grateful for the diversity of our community. We have young, we have seasoned.
Yeah.
I am so grateful. And we have parents, we have people who are starting their second career, we have people who this is going to be their first major career. And I think it all just comes down to God's favor. I give the glory to God, God's favor, right? I wake up every day with one mission, which is to be radically obedient to what I'm being called to do. And beyond that, I attract who I'm meant to be in service to. And I also put a lot of work into creating a phenomenal product and experience to make sure people feel like they got beyond what they paid, right? So I work very diligently because I understand the responsibility. Like, I'm training people to go back to their communities and help their people master this information. So I have to give them good information to seed back. And so I'm grateful for the diversity, and it's nothing but God.
Yeah. When people look at this lifestyle, they say, I don't have the money
Mm-hmm.
to do this. What would you say to them?
Yeah, yes, you do. Yeah, yes, you do. You do. You have what it takes. And I don't have is thinking in lack, right? It's just a way of saying there's not enough,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just lack, right? And so that is one of the limiting beliefs that prevents a lot of us from being healthy. It's either I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough support. It's just all lack, right? And so the first thing we need to address is understanding that there is no limitation on resources when you are deciding to do something to better your life, to better your health, to better the quality of life for those you love, right? So start thinking in abundance, right? Ask God for exactly what you need. Show up in the place and find out what you're dealing with in the first place. A lot of times people say that prematurely, not even knowing what the cost is, right? So do your research, but understand that thinking in lack will keep you in lack.
Thinking in lack will keep you in lack.
Mm-hmm.
Number one mindset shift that you had to do to create this life that you're living?
Yeah, was to understand the difference between obedience and radical obedience.
Oof. Radical obedience.
Radical obedience, Brandi, I define as doing what you're being called to do despite the presence of fear and uncertainty, right? And there's 4 tenets to radical obedience. I'll rattle them off really quickly, right? So radical obedience, number 1, the first thing that graduates just obedience to radical obedience is that your obedience is complete and not partial. That means you do all of what God told you to do and not just some of what God
girl,
told you to do.
let's toss it out. Get the tablet. I'm out. Throw it away. Get me out of here.
Yeah, we just doing the parts that's easy.
I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's our first problem. See, most of our problems is not that we're disobedient. We're just partially obedient.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what makes my obedience radical is that it's complete, not partial. It's all the things. People come into my 30-day challenge and they be like, Lisa, I'm going to do the S and the O, but the salt, I'd be like, Brandi, I need radical obedience, complete, not partial.
Radical is don't you eat that fried lobster tail over at Hal's. Don't you do it.
Yes. If that's what your body and your mind is calling you to in that season, do all that God told you to do. God told you this is the season for me not to eat meat, but you like, but I'm going to keep fish though.
Yeah.
So one of the things that makes my obedience radical is that it's complete, not partial. The second thing that makes my obedience radical, it's that it's immediately and not eventually. He told you to do that 2 years ago.
Cut the show. Cut the show.
He been told that assignment been on the show for 60. You were been supposed to start that nonprofit for teenagers. Obedience is immediately and not eventually. As soon as you get the divine download, you make the call, you send the email, you have the conversation. Your obedience ain't radical enough. You doing it, but you doing it on your time.
This was a great one. Thank you very much, Vaughn Paris.
No, I got 2 more tenets. Y'all keep the camera rolling. I got 2 more things to say.
I want out. She on my street. Why she on my
Listen,
street?
I was wondering. I thought we hit a speed bump.
I usually bring the AK and spray it myself, Lisa. But since you want to be coming up in here strapped, bastard.
Listen. You feel me? Okay, so first, it's complete, not partial. Second, it's immediately, not eventually. The third thing that will make your obedience radical is that it's done with joy and not resistance or reluctance. So the attitude and the spirit that you bring to it. Don't come dragging into my challenge with an attitude talking about, I'm here, I know I'm supposed to, but I don't like it and I don't feel like it. No. You come joyful. We gonna give up sugar with a smile on our face. We gonna start that business and believe the whole time. There's no resistance because God told me to be here. So we do it with joy and not reluctance. And the fourth thing that makes obedience radical is you do it with innocence and not expectation. Stop scoreboard watching. You like, okay, I got the divine download to take your challenge, coach. I saw you on with Brandi. Y'all was talking that talk. You convicted me. Let me do the
Yeah.
challenge. But 2 weeks in, you like, well, I don't know if this is for me because the scale ain't moving like everybody else in the room. You had expectations. And because your expectations don't seem like they're being met, now you questioning the whole assignment. Right? So radical obedience is with innocence and not expectation. I don't care the result or how it looks if I know this is what God told me to do. Right? If I know God told me to sit down with powerful people, enlightening people, and talk to them, and I'm going to do it. Not because I thought it was going to produce this special outcome. You start a business, you're not a billionaire by the end of the 6th month, you think that this one my calling. You do it with innocence and not expectation. And so that is what changed the game for me when I decided to stop being obedient to God and start being radically obedient to God. I've never looked back. And in 10 years that we've been in business, God has not let me down. Sick and tired and sick. Look at Kiwi over there cheesing from ear to ear. She's so proud.
You know, it ain't a lot of people that get me to shut the hell up on this show. You know, that get me to be like, oh, okay. You know, Lisa A. Smith, though, I knew. I said this morning when I woke up and I said, I know who on the schedule today. I was driving out of my garage and I said, God, I need you to make it so plain why I do this show. I need you to make it so plain why I do this show. Because I have been living in the expectation.
Oh.
I keep expecting the numbers to grow. I keep expecting to have a viral moment. I keep expecting, like, that's the thing that gets talked about in a production meeting. I need the clip. What clip is going to go viral? What's that clip? And you're living in the expectation. And this morning I said, God, as I was driving out, I said, I literally uttered these. I said it out loud. Now I talk out loud now.
Absolutely.
Lisa, I said, God, I need you to make it so plain why I do this show. And I'm trying to fight back the tears right now. Because I don't know if it was for anybody else who's watching, but I know it was for me. Because there are so many moments that I've been obedient just enough. So many moments I've done it with the expectation that, okay, God, well, I know you're about to move. I know you're about to do something.
Yeah.
I've done it where, okay, I do a little bit, but not all the way.
Yeah. I do most of it. Yeah.
I do most of it.
Absolutely.
But I don't want to do all of that.
Yeah.
I know you don't want me to eat them crab legs.
I'm mostly clean, Lord. Can I get some credit for mostly?
No, when I go to my sister's house and she be having a little crab dish, I be like, oh, it's so tasty. Look at that. It's so tasty.
Yes.
Radical obedience.
I invite you to the side.
Ooh,
I invite you.
Go joyfully, Brandi.
I invite you. I invite you to change the conversation in the production meeting.
Yeah.
I invite you.
You know what? I'm so glad because even yesterday I was kind of like in this moment, we're in production meeting and I was like, I kind of, got like, now I don't want to go old Brandi.
Yeah.
That's Cleveland Brandi.
Yeah.
that 216 come out Brandi.
That
you know
Midwest
what I'm saying?
get you together.
That Midwest
Amen.
gonna be like, now wait a minute, baby. Let me hear it.
It's similar to that 313. Amen.
That thing get gangster, baby.
Yes, and do.
Okay, and please. And I found myself about to go there, and and I told my sister, I was like, I guess I'm not asking the questions in the right way.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not, they want me to ask, be more straightforward. You're just having too much. And I was like, that's why this morning, Lisa, I promise you, this is, if everybody looking for the real moment, baby, this is the real, okay? I literally said, God, make it so plain why I do this.
Whew. You want to know something, B? Literally, I'm in a mastermind, right? I'm in a mastermind community. And I heard someone say something in my mastermind community recently that shifted a whole belief for me that I didn't even know I had. So you know how we hear people say things like, God doesn't show up when you want him, but he always shows up on time. Right? And I've always translated that to mean that it's going to take a while and it's going to take longer than what we would want. But I've never translated that to mean that it will come sooner. every time I hear God never shows up when you are, I'm thinking it's going to take longer. But she said in the mastermind, and she was telling a story, and she was just telling us a testimony she had. And she said, just real passively, she said, because God answers prayers quickly. And I said, what? And, we know that happens sometimes, but I never decided to believe that it happens all the time. So I recently decided to believe that God answers prayers quickly about everything I ask for, not just some of the things. And I'm telling you, Brandi, I was just praying for something in the business. I said, God, I need to make a big investment into this next product. I need a quick $20K within 2 weeks. Done, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to offer you that same belief. God answers prayers quickly, and I mean quickly. And soon as you ask for it, be ready, and be ready every time.
Yeah.
And be ready every time. So I'm so honored and blessed to hear that he answered your prayer quickly today and gave you what you needed.
I mean, let me say this. You and I were talking about this program.
Yes.
That I'm going to be doing starting in the summer.
Yeah. And I'm entertaining coming with you.
And I was sitting up here like, would that not be so amazing to have all these powerful Black women at this program?
I was thinking the same thing.
Powerful.
Yes.
They ain't seen nothing like it.
Yes.
I know they ain't seen nothing like this.
Nothing.
And when you talked about the radical obedience, that's the immediate thing that jumped in my head, right? In two ways. Because I knew I was supposed to go to seminary at 19 years old. At 19 years old. I said, oh, no, that's not. You don't mean that, like, for real. And then for people who don't know, I applied to Emory many, many years ago, got into Emory, Candler School of Theology, deferred admissions twice. And the last time was 10 years ago. Wow. And I said, I'm not supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nobody wearing body dresses over knee boots down in the seminary. They ain't got nobody,
couldn't be what it looked like.
They ain't got nobody talking like this in the seminary. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And most recently, when I was at Princeton University, that's the message I got, the download I got. That's why I need you there, because they ain't got nobody like you there. That's why
waiting for the body kind dress and the knee boots.
They've been waiting on a body dress and a knee boot to show up.
Yes.
Baby, they've been waiting.
Yes.
They've been waiting on a twerk or two.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Listen, they've been waiting for it. And the thing about it is, I said, I want to be obedient in my way. And every time I start this show, I say the same thing. You were a witness to the prayer. Not my will, but thy will be done.
Yeah.
That every conversation that transform every heart and mind that hears it. Remove me from this place. Not my will, but thy will be done. And every single time we looking for, I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it. Listen. Anywho.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm going to tell you in advance. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Because when we talked about this the other day at the church, right? You talked as if it's happening.
Yeah.
Right? You talked as if it's happening. So much so that I started entertaining. Like, well, should I?
Yeah.
Well, should I do it too? And I thought the exact same thing you just said, Brandi. I said, what if all of us did it?
Yeah.
Because we talked about 2 other people that might do it with us.
Powerful women.
And I said, imagine all of us strutting the campus of Princeton and doing that program.
Yeah.
All of us. And I thought about that. And I went and I went to the website, Brandi. I did. And I started reading about the program. I did, Brandi.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wonder how I could make this work.
Yeah.
I was like, the program ain't that long.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I would love to be there with y'all.
And it's an uprooting. It's an uprooting.
A completely uprooting.
It's
no virtual option.
Because there's no virtual option.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so let me tell you something. You're going to do it. We're going to follow in your footsteps.
Oh, man.
And this is going to be your first real act of radical obedience.
This is radical.
This is radical.
I'm telling you, it's radical. But here's what I know when you said about God moving so quickly. It is because from the time of me being there to the time I submitted the application, I did 2 weeks. Recommendations, transcripts, everything all within 2 weeks.
Wow.
From just sitting there.
And it usually takes way longer than to complete an application like that.
Because, like, well, let me sit on it a while. Let me think on it. Let me pray about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You love to say that. That's our line.
Yeah.
I would pray about it.
And God give me a sign.
God give me a sign. I'm just waiting on the prayer.
Yes. Meanwhile, God waiting on you.
God just waiting on you.
Yeah.
Because
he told you at what age?
19.
How many
19.
Years? Over 20 years ago?
43. I'm 43, right? And it's amazing how much we run from the thing, right?
Yes.
But what we're running from, what is meant for us, it always catches us.
It does.
It always finds us.
It always does.
It always leaves its mark on us. We always find our way back to it.
Yeah.
And I know that that's the season. And I asked my sister, and this is to your radical obedience, because I know this is for somebody. We was not planning on this.
Not at all.
This was not on the bingo card.
Well, you wasn't, but I was.
Yeah, you because you came on your assignment.
For the past 2 weeks, I've been thinking about this conversation, and I said, God, what is the subject? I knew we was going to talk about health, but that didn't feel like the subject. And he said obedience. And, of course, I watched the show. And so I said, when she asked me at the end, what word is for me in this season?
Yeah.
You could probably guess what it is.
Yeah. Go ahead and say it.
Obedience.
One word you're committed to in this season of your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. We didn't plan this, but I knew. I said, God was like, take radical obedience to that set. And I didn't know who it was for, and I didn't know it was for you.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy it is.
Because it's for me, it's for the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are going to watch it who've been just enough obedient, been obedient just enough. I've done just enough.
Just enough to not be defiant.
Yeah.
But they don't know they're radically disobedient because every yin has a yang, right? And so if you can be radically obedient, you can be radically disobedient.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just not your average disobedience. And instead of being fearful of what it would look like to step into seminary with thigh-high boots and a bodycon dress on, we need to be fearful of the consequences of disobedience.
Yeah.
That's what we should be fearing. That should have us shaking in our boots. And I refuse to even find out what the consequences of disobedience looks like. That's what I'm afraid of more than anything that I'm worried about how I'm being perceived or how much it'll cost or how long it'll take or how deprived I'm going to be because I love sugar and salt so much. The consequences of disobedience is worse than anything that you could ever imagine.
Lisa A. Smith. And what I gotta say? I'm gonna just open up the doors of the church. The doors of the church are now open. If you ain't been obedient, baby, you better walk down. Today is your day. We waiting on you. Will there be one? Brought in Power Talks, another good one for the books. Lisa A. Smith.
Yes. It's been my pleasure. I love you, Brandi.
Come
it's been
on.
my pleasure.
Listen, be sure to share this with somebody who needs a little more radical obedience in this season of their life. Immediate, right now, move. Until next time, I'm your girl, Brandi Harvey. Eat well. Give a damn. Move your body every single day. Peace.